So I guess this is what the Hajj feels like, or a trip to Lourdes. This is like a pilgrimage here at the Mormon temple here in Salt Lake City, downtown Salt Lake City, Saturday night. So people behave better, not like a bunch of drunks or stoners at a rock concert, a bunch of people yelling obscenities at a sporting event. But there's a certain sense of awe and good cheer and good behavior. And of course, Mormon chicks are hot, which makes me feel more spiritual. Yes?
Let's new clip. Let's talk about light. Christmas lights. I mean, why is light always connected to spirituality? So there's two images come to mind. One, there's a famous, beautiful story about a king who has 3 sons, and he has to decide which son should inherit the kingdom. So he tells his sons, come to this room, and whoever can fill this room in the best way inherits the kingdom. So the first son kind of packs it with straw, like really packed, and the king comes and puts his sword through the straw and says, clearly, you haven't filled the room. The second son says, I'm not going to use straw. I mean, the king's sword can go through it. I'll put bricks. And he puts bricks. And the king comes and takes a bucket of water and throws the water in, and he says, well, you haven't filled it. And there's clearly empty spaces. And then it's the third son. And the third son comes and he lights a candle. And the light fills the room. And the king comes and he says, of course, you're going to be the future king. So light has this quality that actually is completely filling. It fills every crevice.
There are restrooms here.
and in the middle of light, it's good to know that there are restrooms here. A very important piece of information. Absolutely correct. So that's light. That's the first nature of light, is it fills everything. It finds every dark corner and illuminates it. And we say about Hanukkah, which is coming up, the festival of lights, a little bit of light dispels a lot of darkness. And the second quality of light is that light is about giving. And if I take a candle and I light another candle, oh my God, I can light 1,000 candles and never lose any of my light. Usually when I give, if I give you, I lose something.
Right.
But in true giving, oh my God, I can give you everything. I haven't lost a thing, because we're really so deeply connected. And so light always expresses spirit. There's a felt sense when you see something lit up and illuminated. There's some connection, some deep resonance between light and spirit itself. Which is why Torah, the word Torah, is one of its 4 meanings is light. And so when people are coming here to look at the light, they're not quite sure why they're coming. They can't quite, verbalize what it is, but they're drawn to the light. Because the light expresses something beautiful, something good, something illuminated, some deep brightness in the human soul. And in that sense, it's just a delight to be here and just to bask in the light.
Hey, is it true you have to be a Mormon to actually go inside the temple?
It is, I believe, true that you have to be a Mormon to actually go inside the temple.
This feels a little bit like, I imagine, what our temple, the Jewish temple, it's like 2,000 years ago, 2,100
Right.
years ago.
We were actually talking about that before. That's really right, Levi. This temple was patterned after the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. And if you remember,
right,
the idea of pilgrimage,
right,
the kind of spiritual technology of pilgrimage,
right,
which is very strong now in Christianity, comes from the Bible, which talks about going 3 times a year
right,
to the temple in Jerusalem. And that's really what we're seeing here. It's clear that before Christmas, people come to the temple, and the coming to the temple is itself, a kind of spiritual pilgrimage. They come to see the light, not because the light's going to give them a conceptual, structural, philosophical class, but the experience of coming to the temple and being in the light, as it were, and being with thousands of families. And look how many children are here. Right. It's filled with children. So it's really kind of a transmission of light from one generation to the other. It's a time when you come together and find the best in yourself.
I like it.